Hello, and welcome to the A Quilting Life Podcast. I'm Sherri McConnell from A Quilting Life.
And I'm Chelsi Stratton from Chelsi Stratton Designs.
And this episode is airing on Monday, June 10th. We are very excited to be here. And summer. It's really summer.
Yeah, we're in the thick of it.
I guess not officially. What is it, June 21st or something? But kids are out of school. The weather is hot.
It's summer vacation.
Yeah.
Summer vacation.
So for me, I'm looking at school is out.
Yes.
It's summer.
So there's a couple kids downstairs watching Shrek or something on TV.
Actually, I think they're watching Garfield now.
Oh, my goodness.
So, yes. Okay, well, let's just start off with our sponsor, Cozy Earth. And last episode, you got to hear from Billy. That was really fun.
Yeah.
All three of us can now chime in on our love for the Cozy Earth products. And especially with the summer heat upon us, we are just loving our Cozy Earth sheets. We also love our Cozy Earth pajamas. They have joggers. They have a wide variety of apparel, actually, that you can check out on their website. And the Cozy Earth sheets come to you with a 100-night trial. So if you don't like them within the first 100 nights, send them back for a money-back refund. And you can also know that there is a 10-year warranty on this product. We do have a little bit different way for you to get the Quilting Life discount. You will need to go to www.cozyearth.com/pages/quilting-life. No A in front of that this time, so it's just Quilting Life. And we will have that link in the description below, and would love it if you're going to shop there that you use the link so that they know that you came from us.
Yeah.
And
that will get you a
30% off discount. Yes. Okay, and now Chelsi will share her quilts.
So I did not know what quilts I was going to bring. And I actually asked my kids, I brought them one by one into my room. And I said, tell me, I'm like, hey, tell me 2 of your favorite quilts I've designed. And all 3 of them said the one on the wall as like their first one. And then I had a couple say the Magnolia quilt. And so that's how I did it today. And it's really funny because Mom had Seashore Drive quilts last time, and the one on the table is all Seashore Drive. But let me talk about the one on the wall. This is Hearts at Home. I think all my kids really love this one because I've made it more than once, and it was one of my first quilt patterns. One of my favorites. It's jelly roll friendly, and actually, so even though it is jelly roll friendly, I actually went through all of my scraps from previous collections. At the time, I think it's the Balboa collection down, and I tried to put in as many fabrics from as many collections as I could. So like all of the pink hearts are different pink prints from collections, and I just kind of wanted it to be color based this time. So lots of fun. It's a bigger block quilt. Hearts at Home is just a favorite. Obviously, it's the original one I did, and then I did the Hearts at Home 2 later with the smaller blocks. So this one was scrappy, but it is a jelly roll friendly quilt.
I love this. You can just look back and see so many collections in there. It's super
like
fun.
A scrapbook.
Yes.
It really is. And on the table, we have Magnolia. That's also a favorite in our household. And this was made in the Seashore Drive collection. It's fat quarter friendly, one of my all-time favorite quilts. And it does go with Laguna Sunrise really well.
Yeah.
That was like the whole plan.
Yes.
And I love it. So you can find links to these in the description of the video as well.
Yes.
If you're looking for summer sewing.
Yes. And I just have one thing on the table to share. I actually could have shared this in our last episode because I found out about this while we were in Texas.
From Ashley
and Kimberly were talking about, well, actually they were talking about it, and I kind of bumped in the conversation and said, hey, what are you talking about? Because Kimberly was saying how this is all the rage among her Stitcher group.
Yeah.
And it's this, cobalt toolbox, but it's in a woman's pink and cute little drawers. And I guess the embroiderers are storing their floss and their project, but I'm going to put English paper piecing hexagon stuff in here. I'm super excited. And there's even a top the top opens, and so the papers will actually fit in here. I'm super excited about this. And I did jump online and order it. I ordered it from Lowe's right away. And I know Chelsi tried to order this morning and they were sold out, but they might come back in stock.
So this is the sad part. They are out of stock as of when we're filming this,
right,
but they have a spot that you can put in notify me when it comes back in stock.
Yes.
So if you go and put your email, which I did this morning, and they sent me an email and said, oh, we'll let you know when this comes back in stock, because they were talking about it at Fat Quarter Shop. My mom immediately bought one and I was like, yeah, I'll get it when I get home. Sold out, gone. Yeah. So just put your email in, because I'm really sad I didn't get one, and I want this color so bad. I want one for each of my girls.
Yeah.
But it's adorable.
Super cute. I think there's also a red and a gray and some other
like
colors.
A lime green.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's others.
There's other
it's
colors.
Just not going to be pink.
Yeah.
Okay. So thanks for sharing that. We will jump into our listener quilts now, and we have two actually 2023 block of the months. I grouped them together so we could just get a couple looks at each of those. And so the first one here is from Eileen. I hope I said your name right. Eileen, or Eileen. I wanted to share a couple pictures with you of last year's block of the month. It was so much fun, and I knew I had the right recipient for it. I facilitate a grief share group here in Phoenix at my church. One of the ladies who attended is a veteran. She is in a wheelchair from a work-related accident after her service. The fabric was given to me from a friend. I did all the piecing, and another friend quilted it beautifully. It was a privilege to present it to her at our last session. And we have a couple of pictures of her with her and the lady with the quilt, and then one with the quilt draped around the lady there in the wheelchair. So great job. Looks amazing for a good cause as well. So
yeah, I love seeing the block of the month and all the different fabrics that people choose.
All right. And this next one here, this is from Paige. She said, I hope I'm not too late in sharing this, but I just got my 2023 block of the month back from the Long Armor. I thought it would be fun to get a unique picture of it all finished, so I took it around town with my boyfriend getting pictures. These two ended up being my favorites. I used a variety of Tilda fabrics. I decided last minute to do the alternate setting and wasn't able to get more of the background fabric, so I improvised a bit. Thank you so much for everything you guys do. Your content, designs, and fabrics bring me so much joy. And actually, Mom, I think I only showed you one on accident. So you saw the one out in front of the brick building.
Yes.
But there's another one of her boyfriend actually draping it over. I believe it's the same building, over a little
like fence or
it's
walkway.
not a fence. It's you'll see. It's on the picture.
Okay, yeah.
I'll think of it later. Yeah, but it's in front of the building, and then the shot's being taken from below, so it's a little higher there.
Yeah, I love the photograph that I saw. I'll have to look at the other one since we're
it's a little further back. So the first one you guys see there, we'll show it more up close. But yeah, really cool.
Yes, thank you for sending those in.
Okay, so I'm going to take a minute here. Since it's our first episode in June, that means it's officially our anniversary of the podcast. So our first ever episode came out June 1st of 2020. This is our first episode June 10th of 2024. So it is officially our 4-year anniversary of doing the podcast. So congratulations to you guys, to us all. And last month, it was actually in April that we got our 100,000 subscriber mark for the channel. We did a little video unboxing with all three of us, talking about some of our favorite memories. We didn't even mention that it's up here on the last podcast.
We didn't mention on the last podcast.
That's right.
So last podcast, we put it up right before. So here it is. I think we felt like
and you can see it. We have it. Yeah, you can see in the video.
I mean, it's hard to see the
writing.
The writing, it's in white. So, but like I said, it says A Quilting Life on there. And then it's also a mirror, so you might see like some quilts in the background on there.
Reflection of colors.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it's essentially like we mentioned in that video, we started in the spring of that year with just sort of being more consistent with videos. We had done some prior to that. And then just that summer is when we started the podcast. So the podcast and the overall channel together has grown hand in hand. And it's pretty crazy to think that we've stayed consistent with the podcast for 4 years.
Yeah.
You know, we've done at least 2 episodes every month for 4 entire years. And so...
I mean, this is episode 113. Like, when you think about it, it's a lot of episodes.
I know. We talk about different landmarks and everything. Oh, episode 50, 75, 100, you know. And now it's just like, okay, we're over 100, so we don't really talk about it as much.
We really are.
But now it's almost like, wow, we've been doing it for 4 years. And
it's a long time.
Yeah.
and no replays in there also, because a lot of podcasts that I follow, they're doing replays and they are giving them new numbers. So, you know, we haven't done a single replay.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think when you're traveling or it's just not going to work.
Like this one's a replay.
That's an okay thing to do. You know, a lot of people do it, but we've been able to keep from doing any replays.
Well, and also, I mean, our podcast is more, we try to stay up current with what's going on now.
Right.
With your lives and with fabrics and patterns and everything like that. So to replay something that has, you know, that like, oh, we just came out with this new fabric collection, and it's like, no, you didn't. It was 3 years ago.
You're right.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but no, I just wanted to mention that and sort of look back a little bit, and it's crazy how fast it's gone. But it's also, we just want to again say thank you to all the listeners who've been listening or watching on YouTube for the last 4 years. Obviously, if we didn't have listeners or viewers, we wouldn't have a podcast.
Right.
So
thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so with that, we were going to jump into our main topic today. And my mom came up with this great idea, I thought. We talked about it's being summer or summer vacation time. Here in Southern Nevada, it feels like the dead of summer for most other places at this point in June. But I'll go ahead and introduce it, and then you guys can jump into what you're going to do. So my mom sent us this idea: with summer season around the corner, it's time to begin thinking about summer sewing. Many quilters might have more free time in the summer and take that opportunity to sew on vacation, attend retreats, or just get more done at home. So my mom and sister are also getting ready to sew with some new sample yardage. They want to talk about, you guys can talk about how you prepare for that and share some other ideas for summer sewing. And then they're actually going to go through, my mom put together a list of 15 things that she thinks, that you could attack over like maybe 5 a month, things that you could do, some ideas if you want some ideas for what to do this summer with your sewing. And they're going to break down each of those items and give you some thoughts on them.
Yeah.
So I just have to say right off the bat before we start, I loved Mom's list that we're going to go through, because all I have heard in the past 3 days since my kids have been out of school is I'm bored. And I'm thinking, wow, I'm never going to be bored because Mom just came up with this ultimate list of summer ideas for sewing. So there's that tidbit before we start.
I remember when it was summer with you both, when you were little, I used to sometimes sit you all down at the beginning of the summer and say, everybody tell me something you want to do this summer. So, and then I would repeat that back to you when you said you were bored,
Yeah. Well, I'm bored and I'm hungry.
But there's a lot of evidence now that being bored is actually good. It's for your creativity.
There's studies on this.
Yes.
Being bored is a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah. I always tell them, I'm just like, you'll survive.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Did I ever say I was bored in the summer to you? That you can recall, Mom? I know I'm your oldest, but...
It was always me.
I feel like it wasn't as much you. You had things, you came up with the cleaning club or you would do things with your siblings.
He was always with his friends.
Yeah, well, I know, but like middle school and on, I felt like summer, I was so looking forward to summer because I was out.
You guys were out fishing at the reservoir.
Yeah, at the reservoir. We were building rafts.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Bikes. My friends had 4-wheelers and dirt. Like I never felt like I was bored. I feel like I barely came home in the summer.
Yeah.
So
he was never home.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, they'd be like, yeah, we're going to the reservoir. We're building a raft out of milk jugs.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they would be like, hey, we're not coming home tonight. We have a challenge. We're going to take one hot dog and a walking stick, and we're going to go live in the wilderness tonight.
Yes.
And my parents were always like, cool. But if I would have asked that.
Let me explain one thing. So if everyone's like, what are you talking about? Reservoir. So they're out here in where my mom and dad live, and Chelsea still lives. There's Lake Mead that's pretty close to here.
Yeah.
But there's also like a smaller little reservoir that was really close to the house
man-made.
that I grew up in middle school and high school. And so we would just, I could ride my bike there. And then it was like we had our own little private lake that me and my friends could just hang out on all summer. And so that's what we say by the reservoir. We spent a lot of time up there just being kids, I guess. And it was fun.
It's the good old days.
The good old days.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and our topic too, this is really interesting because Chelsea and I both actually started doing some preparation for sample sewing. And it was really interesting because we had done it on the same day and we had kind of done the same thing. I don't know if you remember a couple weeks ago before we went to Texas, we both emptied shelves on the same day.
Yes, it was the same day. And so that when the fabrics arrive, we can just hurry and put them on the shelves. So I have 2 open shelves, and it was really interesting. We both did it the same day.
Yes.
But I have done things to prepare for that. I got a new cutting mat and new rotary cutters and blades and cleaned my machine and cleaned my sewing room. That way, when the fabric arrives, I am ready to cut and sew because I have quite a few quilts to make this time. So I know Mom has a lot of projects to make as well. So we're just kind of waiting right now.
Yeah.
But until then, I'm also finishing up a fabric line, like designing one that we'll be going over next week and submitting that as well. So I'm kind of like, oh, it's okay that the fabric isn't here just yet.
Yes.
Because I need to finish that.
Yes. And I was actually glad too that the fabric wasn't here yet because I am going to Dallas for the motivation event.
Motivation.
And so I really needed to get ahead on all of my blog content and get some things. So actually what I did the last 2 days is I sewed 4 weeks worth of content.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to hopefully get all those posts written and everything and scheduled before I go to Dallas. So
now explain motivation so people know, because it's for shop owners.
Yes, Motivation is a retreat for shop owners, and it's the first one that Moda has done with this title. They hopefully will be repeating this in the future. But it's actually, you arrive on a Monday, you have a welcome dinner, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you have a variety of classes from not only Moda designers, but other industry professionals, everything designed to help you grow your business and inspire your business. And so
there's a lot of great designers that are going to be there.
Yes,
and Mom included.
Going to be in great company. I'm excited.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Yes.
I knew people probably were going to ask.
Some people might not know about it. Yeah. In fact, I must have slipped the phrase in a previous episode. Somebody emailed me and asked me, and
did they?
I messaged her back what it was. But yes, so this is shop owners only, and it did sell out almost immediately. I feel like it sold out in a day or 2.
Yeah.
And it seemed like it was really quickly before I was getting an email that, hey, it's sold out.
Yeah.
And so if you hear about it next year and you want to go and you're a shop owner, sign up quick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I'll have a report on that when I get back.
I want to hear about it because I'm not going.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to hear how it goes.
And I'm excited to spend there's one day that I have kind of open. And so I get to go to the Moda warehouse. I'm actually going to film a couple videos for Moda while I'm there too. So that'll be fun. Yeah.
What?
So that'll be fun.
Cool.
But back to our summer ideas. Should we just do you want to do 5 at a time, or do you want to just go every other one?
Let's just go every other one.
Okay, perfect.
Because we can both comment on them.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to start.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay, so the first one is my favorite probably, and it says clean up your space, purge unnecessary items, inventory, rotary blades, thread, clean off flat surfaces, etc. And the reason I like this is I just did this in preparation for that to me is something I call a clean slate, or my dad calls it clear the table. Like he does that at the end of the day. It just is going to help you kind of like reset.
Yes.
So that's what I would say about that one.
Yeah. And I've just finished doing that as well. And
we're ready.
Actually, you mentioned the other day that you had ordered rotary blades, and I thought, I got to do that too. So
because there's a new color,
yes,
magenta that I don't have.
Of the handle.
Yeah, the handle. So I not only ordered blades, but I was like, well, I mean, it's pink, so I need the magenta cutter and new mats and everything.
Yeah, and I actually do have a new mat under a bed right now that's going to go on my table when that fabric gets here.
My friend thought I was crazy. She's like, why do you keep ordering new cutting mats? And I'm like, because the 18-inch line is popular and it gets worn out and I just need a new one. I don't want to do the math. I don't want to move over and say, okay, 1 inch, so 19 inch. That's so lazy of me. But
I know. Sometimes
so I have
I do
stacks
that.
and stacks of cutting mats.
Oh. Okay, the second thing on our list is just to kind of go over your works in progress and choose maybe just one a month to work on, maybe a June work in progress, a July, and an August. And I was thinking you don't even have to finish it. You can just work on it.
Yeah.
So I actually did that also the other day.
I love that because I get overwhelmed when I see the things I haven't finished. And it just seems like too much. So one a month is doable because you could say, I'm going to make a block every couple days.
Yes.
And it's done.
Yeah.
Boom. Bam. The next one says sort fabrics for keeping, donating, and selling. And that is actually next on my list. I was trying to find something in my closet the other day and I'm like, there are way too many bins in here of fabric. It's everywhere. And I am going to go through, and there's some girls in my ward at church that like to sew, and so I might donate some and maybe do some rainbow bundles. I haven't done that in a while, so that's kind of on, but that's not priority, but I'm going to do that this summer.
Yeah, no, that's on my list too, because actually one day, the last time Chelsi was over here filming, she reorganized a couple of my shelves, and they had the colors all mixed up, and she organized them by color. But when she did that, I realized, I could probably make some more scrap bundles.
You need to
sell and kind of even condense that even more. So
because some of them don't even actually have that much fabric
I know,
on them.
it's just mostly the bolt taking space.
Yeah, and you need room for your bolts.
Yes. So I'm going to be doing that too.
They're great prints and colors too. So if she lists them, I might even get one.
Okay. Okay, and then number 4, decide on how to work on scrap organization, either weekly or monthly throughout the summer. And this is actually something I've kind of been doing because I've been doing a half square triangle scrappy quilt. And so I've been weekly making half square triangles out of scraps, and that's been great. But I actually, because I was trying to get ahead for my Dallas trip, I actually have finished those blocks now. So I need to think about another scrap quilt that I want to start. I was actually just sitting here thinking, maybe I'll cut my scraps into jelly roll strips.
Do it and make one.
And do one of this. And if I went down and did 20 blocks,
yes,
I could do a block from each of the first 20 collections. I don't know.
What?
That might be my summer scrap project.
I love that idea. Okay, so the next one is super simple. You could do this in like 2 minutes. It's change your sewing machine needle. And I actually change them out after every quilt now.
Do you?
Yes.
That's great.
Yes, because...
You had mentioned that earlier, like thinking about doing it because other people had do it.
Yeah, so when I just made sure my machine was all clean and got it set. Because you want to know what? I did. I talked about the picture I saw that compared 2 needles. Somebody did like a microscopic thing, and...
Right.
Even after one quilt or a few quilts, the needle was like all not sharp.
Oh, see, I actually need to do that. I haven't done it, and I know it's been over a month. And so that's actually why I put that on the list.
You could do smaller projects in between with it too. I'm just saying, like, after you do a big project, I just feel like I have so many, I already have needles in stock. They're just sitting there.
Right.
Like, why am I not using them?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like this next one. It's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes.
Attend a local guild meeting or activity. That a lot of people do live within fairly close distance to
Of
guilds.
guilds.
And yeah, and you might, maybe you're too busy during the regular year, and you also don't have to be a member to attend. You can always attend, walk in as a guest. I think you might have to pay. I think if you have a membership, you don't have to pay with every meeting, but I know guests can attend, and
Like a guest fee or something.
Like a guest fee. Yeah, and I
It's
think
so inspiring.
right.
I have the best. Whenever a guild wants us to come out, I'm like, please. I love the guilds.
Yeah.
Love them.
And so summer's a great time. Sometimes they take a month off in the summer, but there might be one that works with your schedule.
Okay, this one is like something I'm trying to implement better. Set aside 20 minutes to sew daily. And then mom adds, see how long you can keep up this streak. Like we're playing Tetris or something. But you really could. Just like that could be, it's just like putting the dishes away, guys.
Yes.
20 minutes, even if you don't finish a whole block. And every time I'm getting nearer on a deadline, I'm like, I could have been doing that for 20 minutes a day and I didn't do that.
Right. Or you can make it 10 or 15.
Yeah, it's
and
good advice.
so many planners now have habit trackers. You could just put that as one of your habits and also it wouldn't even have to be sewing. It could just be in your sewing room organizing or
only
cutting.
20 minutes a day in the sewing room.
20 minutes a day in the sewing room. There's another option for you.
Keep up your streak.
Yes. Okay, number 8 is try a new technique.
Scary.
That could be anything simple or difficult, and you could just say, hey, I'm going to do that this summer. So I can tell Chelsi's that's not going on her
For
list.
4 years, I've been wanting to try curves, and it hasn't happened yet.
Could be this summer.
Could be my year.
Do we have a video on curved piecing, Billy?
Yeah, we do.
We do. You can watch
Send
our
it to
video.
me.
Yes.
You could watch our video.
Okay.
I just want to see you in videos like saying, keep up your streak. I'm sorry, I keep going back to that. Oh, this is more mom's thing, but prepare a handwork bag to take with you on trips and outings. And I love this because on our flights, mom would take handiwork on the flight. And I thought that is so cute, like that she does that.
Yeah.
But she's always doing stuff.
And the reason this is on the list is because that was on my list to do before we went to Texas, and I didn't get it done.
Yeah.
And then, here's the day I'm 8 hours in the airport. Think of how many hexagons I could have sewn.
So many people would have been inspired by you.
Yes. So I'm going to get that ready we're actually taping this before my Dallas trip. I'm going to have that ready. I'm going to have lots of hexagons to take to Dallas with me in a little cute bag.
In a cute bag.
Yes.
That she made.
That I made, probably. Okay.
Oh, I love this one. Label a quilt. And there's so many cute labeling options these days. Vanessa Gertzen has been putting the cutest labels on her quilts.
Did she buy them somewhere?
I don't know if she bought them or designed them. I'll probably go check right after this.
There's a few different options for labeling where you can buy prepared ones. Have your name printed on them.
Yeah, made by.
Yeah. So lots of options. Just do one for the summer. Maybe it'll start you on a thing to do one a month, and then you'll get all your quilts labeled. Okay. Was that yours or mine?
That was mine.
Okay. So the next one is start a scrap quilt. I feel like I already talked about that.
Yes.
I think I'm going to, because I do have a box of jelly roll strips that I've already kind of been collecting for a while from just our collections. And so I haven't added Strawberry Lemonade or Laguna Sunrise to that box. So I feel like I could add those 2 jelly roll strips, anything that's left over, and just start a quilt.
And just add to it.
Yeah.
Plan your Christmas sewing projects. And it actually is really important to start this. I know they say Christmas in July, but you should start planning for it now, because then they're usable during the Christmas season. And gosh darn, if I don't start that Santa kit this year, I don't know what I'm going to do. The Santa kit is the one I want to do.
You know what? I have it now too, because remember I had the fabric, and then my friend Donna sent me the panel.
She sent you the panel?
Yeah, so we should do that together.
Do you want to?
Yes. let's do it like when school starts.
When school starts.
We're going to start on it together. Okay. Okay.
Ah, good thing you went through this list.
Yeah.
Now you found something to do. Well, and I was going to add, Christmas, but you could also probably, I know you guys always talk about fall and those projects too. You could do that as well.
Oh, and I wanted to just say too, on Plan Your Christmas Sewing Projects, there's actually a PDF on the show notes page today. And Billy always puts a link to the show notes page in the description. But you can go there if you want a PDF. And it has spaces to plan your Christmas sewing project.
Oh, I like it.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yeah, I shared it with my email subscribers a couple weeks ago, but I know everybody who watches the podcast isn't on my email, so you can get it from the blog today.
Awesome.
And then
13.
Attend a quilt show. That might be doable for some people and not for others. It just depends on
the season, if it's open to the public.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of guilds do put on spring or summer, fall shows. If you have a local
fair,
yes,
they have quilts they're showing.
Well, what's the big one in? Is it Kentucky?
Oh, Paducah.
What month is that in?
Is that summer? I actually don't know. I would have to look that up.
I guess that would be. I can do that right now. So you guys can move. But I was just wondering that because I didn't know if there were more larger quilt shows.
There's also the International Quilt Museum in Lincoln, Nebraska. They have different exhibits going on all the time. There's also a quilt museum in Iowa that I've always wanted to go to. That I have several quilting friends in the Iowa area who have talked about. So I know back east, there's just places all over the country where.
Yeah. So if there's museums and stuff like that, then that's always going to be available. Okay, so it looks like Paducah has passed. It took place April 24th through 27th, 2024. So I guess.
Okay.
Do you think it happens in April every year?
Probably.
Yeah, that's such a big,
But are there some other pretty big national quilt shows like that, or is that the biggest one that you know of? As far as like just open to everybody.
Prestigious, but the international, in Texas, following Market, that is a huge quilting event that anyone can attend.
Okay.
And there's a show and vendors.
Gotcha. And it's called, because yours is Market, what's it called right after?
Quilt Festival.
Quilt Festival.
Yes.
Okay. So, and that's always in Houston, always in October.
Always. Well, it's usually first week of November, right after Market.
Follows Market.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So the next one says, buy a new quilting ruler or tool you've been wanting to get. And Mom has one that I need. It is the long, is it 2.5 inch by 24 inch?
Or 12.5, 2.5 by 12.5.
2.5 by 12.5.
You should buy one.
It is amazing. Every time she shows it, I'm like, I need that ruler so bad. So I need to actually purchase that. I should have purchased it when I got my cutting mat and all that stuff. So
you should have picked one up at Fat Quarter Shop when we were there. I'm sure they had them.
Sure, they could have been like, hey, Chelsea.
Okay. And then last but not least, clean up your room for 10 minutes after each time you sew this summer. And if you do that, your room will be sparkling.
Consistency.
Yes, sparkling come fall. Ready for all that fall sewing, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. Number one was, clean your space, purge, get everything set.
Yeah.
And then number 15 is clean for 10 minutes every time.
Start with cleaning and you end with it because it comes full circle.
Well, it's because if you're like me, after you're done with a sewing session, you have fabric on the floor and you have fabric.
A thread
everywhere. So
little tiny corners cut off from when I'm trimming.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, hopefully I feel like 5 of these a month would be doable for most people. And if there are some that just don't even work out, just do 3 or 4 a month. And
I'm inspired. I'm excited about it. I think these were all really great today.
Do you think you will, you'll get to all of them at some point? Like give me your honest opinion.
Not all of them, but I could get a lot of the. Some of these are daily things, so it's like they're ongoing.
Right.
But there's a lot of these I'm going to get to.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
I think so too.
Okay, well, that's a pretty good list. So if you are bored like a kid during summer,
Like my kids.
and you don't know who to what to do or who to ask advice to, maybe one of those 15 things will give you something to do in your quilting space this summer.
Yeah. Okay, so our next podcast episode is airing Monday, June 24th, and I'm excited to go home and put this list to work. So
Yep, me too. I'm actually going to do a couple things today, especially after changing my needle actually before I start sewing later today.
Yes, do it.
Yes. Okay, well, thanks so much for stopping by.